بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now, probably the next thing we'll try to see some basic PowerPoint skills. Again, as I said, I'm not making you an expert in this, but minimum skills which you need to have or minimum options which you need to know while creating some beautiful presentations, more interactive presentations here. So like here you can see, you make sure that you install the software. I expect you to know how to install, so you're not getting into that. Of course, it's a kind of set of files. So open the PowerPoint, whatever the version you're using, it's up to you. I think I'm using 2019, which has more options. So when you open it, then there will be different options on your left side here, where I can select all my recent files, which I have closed. You can go with a blank presentation, or you can go with any of the pre-designed templates. So there are some predefined templates which many people generally they use. Like if I select any of these templates, they have the pre-designed template where I can just go ahead and add my heading, and then I can just go ahead and add the slides, and I can add the heading, and I can just simply add some text in points, whatever you want. Simply you can copy paste your text. This is something kind of pre-designed templates you can go with, which is something good, but I don't really prefer this option. So I'll show you my own way of doing the things, where you may want more of a kind of whiteboard along with the points, which I prefer. Again, if you see, this is your full screen where you can see all your presentations. The back wall, you will have these designs, but very less you can make changes, where you can change the font and other things. Of course, these are all coming to that. So let me go with the new option. I always prefer to use the blank presentation. The blank presentation where you have the blank white page from where you can draw the things. Now this is your main page. And if you go on, you can add more slides. And let me open up one of my sample presentation page where I have used. I'll try to replicate this option. Like here you can see this is the normal presentation what I use, one of my concepts, firewall. So where I'm talking about the main heading and then some pictures around that. Probably then you can see the heading and some points with some diagrams, with some animations. These are all the things you can see. So in this, what you observe is this is a kind of template which I have created where you can find my company name, and also you can find my company name in the backdrop, where kind of shade. It's kind of my own unique presentation which I have created, which makes completely unique from others. Because most of the time, when you create the documentations, people will try to copy your documentation. So even if they want to copy, they will find my logo over there. So kind of copyright things. But again, I'll show you how you can do this. Let me create a new one. Go to File, New, and select the blank presentation. Now, when you select the blank, you will get a plain white page. So this is your main home page. In this, there is one option here. You can see the layout. You can change the layouts. Layout is nothing but how you want the slide. So each page, we call it as a slide, how you want that slide to look at. So you want some heading and subheading, where you are writing some heading, and in the bottom, you want some subheading. Probably most of the time in the first page, you do that only. But coming from the second page, when you click on this new slide option, then you will get the heading and the points. Of course, I can change this layout from this option called layout here, where I can change this to 2 points. Now, this is more useful when you are trying to show the difference between two applications. Let's say I want to differentiate between WhatsApp and Telegram. So I write WhatsApp points here. I write Telegram points here. Tables, when you try to differentiate between any two products or any two things. So like that, you can select the layout. Most of the time I use this one. So obviously you don't use more than that in my basic presentations. And this is how you add the slides. Click on new slide, select the type, click on new slide. It will automatically come on the left side. These are the pages. And when you click on this, you scroll down to different slides. So coming to these options, I expect you to know this basic copy paste option. So I don't get into this. And most of the options you see in the home page. Now, the first thing what I do is, even you have a predefined designs, as I said, if you go to this design tab, you have this pre-designed templates. You can always choose these templates. Always you can go with this. So it's something pre-designed templates you can always go with, but I don't use most of the time, because when you go with pre-designed templates, you cannot insert your logo. Even if you insert your logo, then the background color has to sync. There are a lot of challenges you have to face. And again, when you're writing on the screen, then if it is a black color or if it is a kind of different color, then there will be few challenges while you're writing on the screen as well. So the white background is something more suitable in my case, but you can decide whatever you want. So let me come with the options. So first what I'll do is I'll create the first I need to do is I need to follow one standard format. Now, standard format means if you see this presentation here, now this presentation have a standard format where you have the heading in a red color with some kind of font. You can see the Narcissism font which I'm using with the font size. And if you scroll down to every page, all the pages are in uniform colors. Means there are mostly max I use 3 colors here. If you see, the main heading is in a red, and then there will be subheadings in case if required in a dark blue color. And then there is another blue color which I use for this one. And again, there is a kind of another blue color. You can see there are 3 different variations of the same color which I use. So this is kind of main heading, subheading we can say. This is your main heading, and then there are some points. And if there are any specific sub points, I'm using a different color. So you have to choose a standard color format. So what you have to choose here is you have to decide. I'm not saying these are the only colors you have to use. There are plenty of colors you can choose for. So basically, which syncs your logo. That's what my settings. That's how I have adjusted. So basically, this syncs as a kind of standard template for my logo, which syncs, and the colors which I use here. But you can add whatever the variations, but whatever the combination of colors you use, it should be close to each other as well. Again, the colors you can decide, it's up to you again. But you can see this is a kind of standard thing. So if you see the colors of different fonts and the font style which I'm using, you can see I'm using only one standard font size. The font style which I'm using is Narcissism. That's a kind of font style. And there are plenty of font styles you will have by default. You can choose any one font style. It's up to you. So I use different font style, but this is something I have been using for a long time. Earlier I used to use different font, but you can change. But going to each and every slide and changing, it's a huge challenge. Because if you have 50 slides, are you going to do it on all the 50 slides? You're not going to do that way. You have to create this template. So what I'll do is I'll try to create a template. That's how you do in a option called, if you go to view, there is an option called slide master. Now in the slide master, what we'll do is whatever the changes you do here or you apply here, it will apply automatically to all the presentations, whatever comes in this file. So it's a kind of default template you have to create. Okay. So this is something you have to do, the default template. So if you go to the view and the slide master, go to slide master and select the slide. Now here I can do all the changes what I want. Like I'll try to adjust the same thing what I have decided. But again, as I said, you can choose your own options. So I'll make it as narcissism style, and it has to be in red color from here. And I want that heading should be underlined. I can just choose underline, and I want some kind of shade in that. And additionally, I want the size should not be 44. It should be, I think I'm using standard 24 or 28. I think I'm using 20. That's the standard style size I'm using. Of course, it varies according to you, and then adjust these things as per your requirement. If you want, even you can add a background color. There will be an outline you can add. If you want, the heading should be an outline. There is an option here. And if you want some kind of color in the back end, you can add the color. It's up to you. I don't prefer. You can decide on your own. Now, similar way, this is the head style, means the heading style of what I want. And likewise, I'm going to select all these options. Same thing I'll do here. Narcissism, font, and the font size I use 14 as per my presentations. And the subheading, main heading should be in which color? Main point in blue, and the sub point should come in this blue, another blue which I use. Third, fourth level also you can add if you want, if you use, but normally I don't use, but you can adjust to some other color, let's say green. So it should not be in contrast or opposite. Now, once you set this, additionally, if you want to add the date, these footers, I normally don't use, I delete them. And I want to add my logo here, right? So assuming you have an image, so your logo, you need to bring your logo from your desktop. Let me just check out my logo here. So this is my logo, and I can adjust this logo here wherever I want. I can just drag and drop this and adjust this logo here. That's where I'm adjusting the logo. And even you can adjust this logo in the backdrop, where you can also copy this logo. I think you can adjust this in the backdrop, but I think you have to shade this one a little bit in the back end. That's what I did. I did some kind of shading, dark shade, but I don't think this is required. But you can also do that. The minimum, you do this and then close it. Now, if you see the options here, you can see all my slides. Any slide you add, the number of slides you keep on adding. Control M is a shortcut which I'm using to do this. Okay. So you can see all the slides come in a standard style, standard color. So whatever you add here, heading 1, 2, 3, whatever, and whatever the text you add here. Let me take some text here because I need some text to apply them in my points. Let me open up one of my document from where I can add some text. So you can add the text. So it's a kind of standard presentation, or the standard presentation style you can add. So you can see there, let's assume these are the points I want to add. You can copy this, you can paste it here. Now from here, you can change. You can see the sub points. Of course, it comes with the default settings, what I have in the WordPad. So if you say paste special, where you will paste in a simple text. Of course, the bullet points you want to change, you can change from here. But again, whatever the changes you want to do, you do it from your slide master. So when you change everything from the slide master, it's going to change everything from here. Like the bullet style, I want to change from here. So now this will be the default bullet for all. Maybe the second you want something different bullet, something like this. And the sub point, one more different bullet, you can also go ahead and change. So this is a kind of slide master. So when I say tab, this comes in a subheading. Tab button comes in a subheading. You can see. When I say 2 tabs, it will come in a green because of the sub point. automatically these settings will apply.